Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera kepada hadirin yang dihormati sekalian. Selamat datang ke pertandingan Reading Challenge dalam Bahasa Inggeris SEMPENA Minggu Perpustakaan Negeri Sabah 2024. Untuk makluman, saya akan menggunakan bahasa Inggris semasa mengacara pertandingan ini. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, guests of honor, esteemed judges, teachers, parents, and dear participants. Welcome to the Reading Challenge competition in English held in conjunction with Library Week 2024. My name is Jasper and I am thrilled to be your MC for today's exciting event. To begin our event, I would like to give a safety announcement. In the event of an emergency, attendees are to remain calm and wait for instructions before leaving the hall. The emergency door is on the left and right side of this hall, while the assembly site is located at the parking area opposite the library building. Thank you for your attention. Now, let's meet the distinguished panel of judges who will be evaluating our participants today. We are honored to have Puan Yong Pena, Pegawai SISC Sektor Pembelajaran Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Kota Kinabalu, and Enci Mak Maluda, Ketua Bagian Rangkaian Perpustakaan Negeri Sabah. Thank you for being here and for lending your expertise to this competition. Before we begin, let me briefly go over the guidelines for the competition. Evaluating the participants' reading skills will be based on the following. First is fluency. The participant reads the text fluently and clearly. Second is intonation. Use of appropriate intonation that reflects understanding and the correct emotion of the text. Third is time. Participants are given 3 to 5 minutes to read the text. When you hear the first ring of the bell, participants will start reading. The second ring indicates that the participant will have 1 minute left before the time is up. The third ring indicates that the time is up. Fourth is presentation style. Displaying self-confidence, making eye contact with the audience, and using appropriate facial expression while reading. Lastly is pronunciation. Correct, clear pronunciation that conveys the accurate meaning of the text. We ask for utmost silence from the audience while each participant is reading to ensure they can perform their best. Without further ado, let's start the competition. Our first participant is from SMK Tebobon, reading text number 1. Please give them a warm round of applause as they come forward.
This. Good morning, the honorable and wise judges and fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Ikwan Ramadan and I am from SMK Tebobon, and today I will be reading which is bookkeepers have been needed for as long as businesses have existed. Before computers, they kept records of financial transactions in actual books or on letters. The very books and papers in proper order over years of financial tracking. Today, instead of actual books, bookkeepers use bookkeeping software and online spreadsheets and databases to keep tracks of financial records. They track, record, and analyze all financial transactions. They also cost for the company or how much more or less money the company on this data, known as balance sheets. A balance sheet is a report that a company costs to its income. It's how the company figure out where the money is going and how to lower costs and maximize profits. Like a bookkeeper, an auditor focuses on companies' financial reports and transactions. An auditor is less involved in the actual record keeping and more involved in making sure that all records are accurate. They make notes on anything that isn't correct in the financial files. Having accurate record is very important to a company. Accurate and honest record keeping helps a company avoid accusations of fraud and gives it a far clearer sense of how much money is being earned, spent, wasted, or misused. Small companies or organizations, keeper or auditor might be in charge of all the accounts. Thank you.
Thank you, participant from SMK. Participant from SMK Datu Peter Mojuntin, reading text number 6.
Hello, fellow friends, and all the judges. Today, my title is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying means using technology to attack people, threatening them, embarrass them, the same things a regular bully likes to do, but online. Cyberbullying is a term used specifically for such technology-based harassment when a child, preteen, or teen is targeted by another child. Preteen or teen, if an adult is involved, then it is called cyber harassment or cyber stalking, and that can be illegal. Cyberbullies engage in many different activities to harm their victims. They send threatening or insulting text messages. They harass their targets with voicemails, message on social networking sites like Facebook, and in some cases, profile using their victim's name and image. Some cyberbullies create blogs to post untrue or unkind contents, images, and text about their target. Cyberbullies are limited only by their imagination and understanding of technology. If you have been bullied by someone online or have been bullied yourself, you are not alone. According to a November 2010 government report, 4% of students aged 12 to 18 were cyberbullied in 2007. In another study conducted by the University of Toronto, about half of middle and high school students said they had been bullied online, and 33.7% indicated they had bullied others online. Cyberbullies take advantage of technologies that are meant to be enjoyed by friends and turn them to tools for the victims. And as technology continues to improve and evolve, bullies will likely find new ways to aggressive and abuse. So, what counts as cyberbullying? How do you know when? Or how if you have perfect harassment is cyberbullying in sending a person cruel or threatening text messages or leaving equally harmful voicemails. Thank you.
Thank you, participant from SMK Datu Peter Mojuntin. From SMJK, Shantao, reading text number 11.
Epidemic versus pandemic. What's the difference? Now, before I go on to my text, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Izan Eliakim bin Kurman, and I am from SMJK Shantao. I bid good morning to the panel of judges, fair timekeeper, our amazing MC for today, and my fellow audience. Now, what's the difference between epidemic and pandemic? The terms of outbreak, epidemic and pandemic are sometimes used in place of one another. However, each of these terms has its own meaning. It is important to remember these differences, especially when talking about diseases. A disease outbreak is defined as the sudden appearance of a disease or illness in a group of individuals. Epidemics and pandemics are types of outbreaks. An epidemic is a sudden occurrence of disease in which the number of cases is more than what is normal for the affected group. A pandemic basically is an epidemic, but on a much larger scale. It occurs over a broad area and such as across multiple large countries or worldwide. Once in the body, many infectious agents begin to secrete or give off toxins that harm cells. These toxins can enter our bloodstream, which carries them to other parts of the body. This process explains why illnesses like the flu, which mainly affects the parts of the body used for breathing, also makes the whole body ache. As infection sets in, the body begins to produce substances called antibodies that are made to kill the infectious agent. Antibodies are made by the immune system, the body's main defense against illness. The immune system usually wipes out infections and the person begins to feel better. But sometimes it loses the battle, which can result in life-threatening illness. Ladies and gentlemen, pathogens that cause infections may stay in the body for a long time. This lasting infection can happen even when a person seems to have gotten over an illness and is feeling better. Pathogens that hang around may cause a person to have flare-ups of sickness later, or they may develop other chronic or long-term symptoms. It may take many months to get over this type of infection. Thankfully, some can be prevented ahead of time. That is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, participant from SMJK, Chantal.
Hello everyone, I am Rachel from SMK St. Joseph Papar, and I'll be reading Text 3, Plato, the father of Western philosophy. Plato based many of his ideas of a perfect society or utopia on Sparta, the city-state that conquered and ruled Athens during Plato's young adulthood. The entire Spartan society was geared toward war and defending itself against enemies, and Plato's utopia shared many of these properties. In Plato's perfect society, no one had any personal possessions. Everything was held collectively by the state or the entire society. Plato conceived of a strict system of education and training that would eventually produce what he believed to be the best kind of ruler for his perfect society. Like the Spartans, Plato believed that all children should be taken from their families and educated as a group. Plato reasoned that raising children apart from their parents would instill in them the idea that that the state was assuming the parental role as opposed to the biological mother and father. According to Plato, this would make the children loyal to the state and teach them that protecting it was their responsibility. However, Plato's ideas differed from those of Spartans in one very important way. He believed men and women were equal. This was a fairly radical idea for the time, but Plato practiced it in his own life by teaching females as well as males at the academy. Plato believed that all people were born with certain abilities and that it was up to the leaders of the state to decide whether people would be best employed as farmers, business people, soldiers, or rulers. Plato's utopia put its citizens through a rigorous educational program, separating them according to ability. Plato formulated a theory that explained his system of grouping people. His idea was that Earth was the true mother of all people. He believed that people were fashioned from certain metals which would indicate their position in society. That is all from me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, participant from SMK St. Joseph Papa. Next, we have participant from SMK Taman Tunfuat reading text number 4.
Good morning to the honorable judges, respected timekeepers, fellow contestants, and everyone present here today. My name is Kaylee Edlin Young from school SMK Taman Tunfuat. And my title today is Advances in Biomedical Engineering. Countless advanced medical devices are under development today. For example, biochemists and biomedical engineers hope to diagnose hundreds of health problems simply by scanning a patient's breath, with lasers to measure chemicals related to various health conditions, like ammonia for kidney failure and acetone for diabetes. Surgery is more sophisticated than ever. Brain surgery may no longer need to open the skull. A curved segmented needle can enter through the cheek. It's path-guided using a magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI, scanner. Eye surgery devices increase precision for delicate operations while filtering out tremors or irrelevant movements in the surgeon's hands. Force feedback systems allow surgeons to experience tactile feedback when using surgical robots, effectively feeling what the mechanisms touch. Surgical implants have come a long way since early bone repair pins and screws. New technologies include pain blockers that shut down the nerves responsible for chronic pain and lenses implanted into eyes to counteract age-related vision problems. Biodegradable plastic bone grafts are used to give shape and structure to stem cells that grow on the plastic framework to form new bones. Three-dimensional printing is poised to bring us printed organs, laying down cultured cells to form everything from skin to livers. Some devices interact directly with the higher nervous system. Retinal implants transmit signals from a camera to the brain, restoring sight to the people who are blind. With brain-machine interfaces, paralyzed people will directly control robot artificial limbs. New brain scanning techniques can determine if someone is in a coma, that is unconscious, or aware of their surroundings, but unable to communicate. All these advancements are the work of scientists, engineers, and technicians involved with biotechnology. But for all the resources available to us researchers, progress is slow and intermittent. Government regulations surrounds research and development, preventing release of new technologies until thoroughly tested in clinical trials. Thank you.
Thank you, participant from SMK Taman Tunfuat. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a 10 minutes break. Should you require to use the restroom, it is located at the front of this hall. Thank you.
Good morning to the honorable and wise judges, respected timekeepers, teachers, and fellow competitors. My name is Muhammad Iqwan Ramadan and I am from SMK Tebobon. Today I will be reading text 1, which is titled Record Keeping and Oversight. Bookkeepers have been needed for as long as businesses have existed. Before computers, they kept records of financial transactions in actual books or bound ledgers. They had to be very organized to keep all of these books and papers in proper order over years of financial tracking. Today, instead of actual books, bookkeepers use bookkeeping software and online spreadsheets and databases to keep track of financial records. They track, record, and analyze all financial transactions from money that a company spends, known as expenditures, bills that the company owes, and money that is owed to the company. They also calculate the profit and loss for the company or how much more or less money the company is taking in than it is paying out. Bookkeepers enter financial transactions into the software and mark them as either debits, costs, or money the company has spent. They then create reports based on this data, known as balance sheets. A balance sheet is a report that compares a company cost to its income. This helps the company figure out where the money is going and how to lower the cost and maximize profits. Like a bookkeeper, an auditor focuses on a company's financial records and transactions. However, an auditor is usually less involved in the actual record keeping and more involved in making sure that all records are accurate. They make notes on anything that doesn't seem correct in the financial files. Having accurate record is a very important thing. Accurate and honest record keeping helps a company avoid accusations of fraud and gives it a far clearer sense of how much money is being earned, spent, wasted, or misused. Not all bookkeepers and auditors will do all of these duties. In small companies or organizations, a bookkeeper or auditor might be in charge of all the accounts. That's all from me. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you, participant from SMK Tebobon. Next, we have participant from SMK Pengalat Papar, reading text number 5.
Honorable judges, fair timekeepers, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, and fellow competitors. My name is Nur Farisha Balkis. I come from SMK Pengalat, and I will read number 5, The Roots of Minimalism. Did you know that our earliest ancestors were thrifters and that they made just about everything they needed from scratch? The earliest humans were hunter-gatherers. They lived in small groups, moved from place to place, hunting animals and gathering wild plants for food. Hunter-gatherers fashioned tools from animal bones, rocks, and wood, made clothing from animal hide, and built shelters out of wood, clay, straw, and other animal skins and other natural materials. If a tool broke or an item of clothing ripped, the owner repaired it with twine or thread made from plant fibers. The first farmers on Earth lived about 12,000 years ago in the ancient Middle East. Early farming was earth-friendly. Families grew and processed enough food to feed themselves. If they had any surplus, they stored it or traded it. Livestock grazed on plants, and farmers used the animal's dung to fertilize crops. Cities developed shortly after the start of farming. People built almost everything in early cities:
from roads and bridges to houses and government buildings, by hand with mostly local materials. City dwellers either made their own tools with their own tools, clothes, and furniture, or purchased them from local artisans. They patched and repaired most items as needed. If someone did throw an item away, the materials, animal hides, plant fibers, or other once living tissues eventually broke down and enriched the soil. Human trash benefited the planet in those days. The Industrial Revolution began in England in the late 18th century and soon spread to the rest of Europe and North America. For the first time, manufacturers used engines powered by steam and later coal and petroleum to run machinery. They hired workers for factories where items were mass-produced. Most city dwellers also made goods by hand or brought them from craftspeople, but factories began to mass-produce clothing, tools, and other items. That is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, participant from SMK Pengalat Papa. Next, we have participant from Maktab Sabah reading text number 2.
A very good morning to the honorable judges and precise timekeepers, and then my fellow participants. My name is Dato' Daniel Sabah, and today I will be reading Food Chains and Bird Brains. Before the 20th century, a sea of grass covered the middle of North America. Prairie grasses waved green and gold from Canada to Mexico. Those grasslands were alive with the songs of birds. If you walk through a western prairie in spring, you might hear the flute-like notes of a western meadowlark. Further east, you'd hear the clear whistling song of its cousin, the eastern meadowlark. In either place, you might see the fluttering flight and hear the spirited babble of a bubbling poet, Emily Dickinson's Rowdy of the Meadow. But our has been if converted to lands or sprawling slopes. Less than 40% of our native grasslands remain. Much of what is left has been carved up into tiny patches where birds struggle to find enough food, to find mates, and to find places to raise young. Populations are dropping like a stone. Eastern meadowlarks are down 73%, 71%. Overall, nearly 3/4 of all grassland birds species are in decline. With much of their habitat gone, grassland birds have had to make do. Many nests on farms in hay fields, grain fields, pastures, idle cropland, and the unplowed strips of land that line farm fields. But farms have changed in ways that threaten the birds that live there. Big corporations have bought up many small family farms and merged small fields into enormous ones. Places where birds previously nested, such as hedgerows between fields, have been cut down. Big corporate farms often use monocropping or planting just one crop over a large area, which depletes nutrients in the soil. Corporate farmers are also using more chemical fertilizers to help plants grow. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, participant from Maktab Sabah. We have participant from SM Science Sabah reading text number 9.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I bid to the honorable judges, actor timekeepers, teachers, and all my fellow friends. I'm Naziha binti Nazlan, representing SM Science Sabah. Will be reading text 9, When do bees make honey and where do bees go in winter? Bees constantly make honey because it serves them as food. So, the whole process of making honey is a way of storing up food for the bee colony. The first thing a bee does is visit flowers and drink the nectar. Then, it carries the nectar home in the honey sac. This is a bag-like enlargement of the digestive tract just in front of the bee's stomach. The first step in making the honey takes place while the nectar is in the bee's honey sac. The sugars found in the nectar undergo a chemical change. The next step is to remove a large part of the water from the nectar. This is done by evaporation, which takes place because of the heat of the hive and by ventilation. Honey stored in the honeycombs by honeybees has so much water removed from the original nectar that it will keep almost forever. The honey is put into honeycombs to ripen and to serve as the future food supply for the colony. Honeys differ in taste, appearance depending on the source of the nectar. What happens to the bees in a colony depends on the kind of bees they are and where in the world they live. For bumblebees, which live in small colonies, only the young queens born in the summer will survive the winter. In a burrow in sandy ground or an abandoned mouse hole. In a honeybee colony, many of the bees will die, but many will live on, feeding on the honey that they have stored during the summer. The exceptions are the drones, who will be driven from the hive as the weather gets cooler because they are not needed during the winter. It is vital that the temperature in the hive does not drop too low. That is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, participant from SM Science Sabah. We have participant from SM Advent Tamparuli reading text number 7.
and competitors. My name is Raken Adam, and I am from SM Advent Tamparuli. The text I'm going to read today is text number 7, the roles of the kidneys. Our body's cells burn nutrients and oxygen to make energy to live and grow, in much the same way that wood and other materials are burned to produce another sort of energy, heat. But just as fires produce waste gases and ash, so the burning that takes place in our body cells also create waste products. This must be removed or they will poison us. The removal of these waste materials is known as excretion. And the body's main organs of excretion are the kidneys. You have 2 kidneys positioned in the small of your back, one on either side of your backbone. They look like large reddish brown beans, and each one is about the size of a clenched fist. Kidneys clean the blood by filtering out waste materials and straining off any water the body doesn't need. This liquid waste is called urine. It is stored in your bladder and then leaves your body when you go to the toilet. Human kidneys consist of 3 layers. These layers are, in order, the cortex on the outside of the organ, the medulla, and the pelvis. Blood flows into the medulla through the renal artery. In the medulla and cortex, the renal artery branches into increasingly smaller arteries. Each of these arteries ends in a blood filtration unit called a nephron. If the kidneys become diseased and stop working, it is necessary to use a kidney machine to remove waste products from the blood. This process is called dialysis. It involves pumping blood from a tube in the person's arm into thin tubing that runs through a tank of sterile liquid. Waste passes from the blood through the walls of the tubing, and the cleaned blood is returned to the body. The dialysis machine works in the same way as the 2 main blood vessels running to and from the kidneys. That is all from me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, participant from SM Advent Tamparuli. SMK Petagas, reading text number 10.
Very good morning to the honorable judges and the fair timekeeper and all the amazing guests. Today, my name is Elza and I'll be reading the text called Pine Trees. How do pine trees stay green all year? Leaves have several functions and one of them is to make food for the tree. Leaves take in carbon dioxide from the air and water and minerals from the soil. The chlorophylls in the leaves absorb energy from the sun. Sunshine forces the chlorophyll to change the carbon dioxide and water into sugar. The sugar made in leaves is the tree's food. Leaves also gives off enormous quantities of water. Certain trees, however, like pines and firs, have different kinds of leaves. They have narrow, needle-like leaves with a thick, wavy outer covering, which prevents the evaporation of water. Consequently, the leaves on such trees remain for several years. When the leaves do fall, new ones grow at the same time and all the branches never look bare. This is why these types of trees are called evergreens. Why does a pine tree have cones? A pine tree has cones in order to reproduce. The pine cones is actually a highly modified branches that takes the place of a flower. Separate male cones and female seed cones are born on the same tree. Each of the numerous scales of the male cone bear pollens, while each female cone scale bear ovals in which egg cells are produced. In the pine, the male cones are small and short-lived and are borne in cluster at the top of the tree. At the time of pollination, a numerous number of pollen grains are released and dispersed by the wind. Those that land accidentally on female cone scales extend pollen tubes partway into the oval during one growing season, but usually do not reach the stage of actual fertilization until the next year. The cones that are usually seen are the seed cones, which are normally hard and woody. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, participant from SMK Petagas. Let's take a few minutes break for the judges to finalize the scores. gentlemen, I would like to invite Puan Yong Pena to give feedback regarding the presentation of the participants.
Hi, and hi and hello to everyone. A very good morning. First of all, to my partner here, okay, Mr. Mark, okay, as one of the judges for today, and very good very good morning to the organizer, okay, Sabah State Library, for organizing these marvelous competitions and give us the chance to be in here in the joining the competitions. And I perhaps the competitors actually is like to 10 competitors, or is there no limitation at all? Because it's kind of ways to have that few competitors only, because this is a very good competitions, and then I believe that many would love to take part, but I doubt some schools by overlook, and like from my district, KK, I actually really hope that more schools would turn up. Yeah, but I don't know if there's a limit for these competitions. I mean, limit of participants. So if that's the case, that means you are the lucky one to be chosen to join these competitions, right? Yeah. Right. I believe that all of you who are lucky enough to be chosen, and then you are here to present yourself as to join these reading competitions, you are actually the winners, even if you didn't get any top 3 numbers, right? Okay. Actually, judging from the 10 contestants just now, actually we have 11, but 1 pull out. So we have 10. And then looking into the way you read the text, actually, yes, kind of. Now, our overall command is you have been reading quite fast. You are given 3 to 5 minutes to complete the text, even though the text is like not very lengthy. And but I find that you are reading it too fast. Yeah, you should carry the text in a proper intonations. Like actually, we have a few of the contestants just now. When you speak in a slower pace, and you bring in the proper intonations in the line, and actually you can deliver in a clearer way. People will, even like me, if I'm not reading the text, I can listen and understand what you are conveying, what you are reading. Okay, I believe those audience here, right, can get actually what you are trying to convey from the reading text. But if you are reading it too fast and you're catching up your time, right, it seems like some you might be missing. And then bear in mind that English actually intonations serve, and intonation and pasting, how you pace yourself reading the sentence. Actually, you don't read like monotonously. So it's fast. It's fluent. I mean, in the sense it looks fluent, but the thing is, because you're reading it too fast without any pause, without any pacing, so you actually you can't bring out the meaning of the text. So that's one thing that I would like to mention here. So just now we have the timekeepers giving us showing us the time. Actually, we did not penalize. Both of us decided not to penalize because you are within the time frame, which is like 3 to 5 minutes. You did not exceed 5 minutes. Okay, and then you are within the time frame. But the thing is, 8 out of 10 contestants speak less than 3 minutes, which if we want to penalize based on the time, 8 of you will be penalized by the marks will be deducted on that part. But since here Masa, we did not highlight here if you speak less than 3 minutes will be deducted, marks will be deducted. So that's why we did not penalize on the time. So all of you are awarded 5 marks, okay, for the time. But the thing is, just bear in mind when you do the reading, now please do not go too fast. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of you, I think a number of you did quite well. Right? No, you carry the text in a way that you try to bring out the message, what is in the text, and then in a slower way, you pause and then you pace yourself accordingly. So that is the thing that we wanted to see. Okay. So maybe if there's a chance that you can do this again, try to improve yourself on that part. Yeah. Of course, just now, Mr. Mark also mentioned maybe the mic is, because this is cordless mic, right? So it's wireless, it's cordless. So that's why your voice might tend to miss halfway, and then so that I don't know whether it affects your mode of reading the text. So that is one thing that maybe we need to improve next time. Okay, is to give you a cord mic, so not a cordless one, so that hopefully the voice wouldn't be like missing in action somewhere. Okay. Okay, and for the pronunciation, actually all the contestants pronounce all the text well, but just because that you try to speak too fast, so some of the pronunciations is a bit away lah. So like with the if the words is with is plural forms, and then you miss out the s, right? You miss out the plural forms, and then some of the words are mispronounced because just you try to speak too fast, right? Instead of kelancaran, it's quite smooth lah. All of you are quite smooth. Okay. Remember, bear in mind that to speak fast doesn't mean that you are smooth. Okay. Yeah. You don't speak too fast, but the thing is, people cannot catch what you are saying, okay, what you are reading. So, okay. Intonation also serve the points there, yeah. Intonation, if you look at it, intonations. So that's why when you pace and pause your line according to the chunk of words, it can bring out the meaning, okay. So intonations will see into that part. Okay, and then gaya persembahan, your presentation style. I can see, because maybe some of you are a bit nervous, but not many of you having the eye contact because you're too engaged with the text, I think. Okay, you tend to just read. That's why if you try to carry yourself in a way that you can pose yourself, so that is the time where you do the eye contact with the judges or with the audience, right? And it shows a little more of a better face expressions. And of course, it also shows your confidence, your higher level of confidence when you carry the text in a more stable way, right? Okay, so basically all contestants has done well. Like you all have done a good job. Okay. As long as you can make yourself here, you are the winner from your school, right? Okay. So I think that's all from my comment. I don't know if Mr. Mark would like to top up anything. Yeah. Okay. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Yongpena, for the feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce the winner of the competition. After careful consideration and deliberation, the judges have made their decision. But before that, I would like to invite Puan Catherine Malik, Ketua Bagian Catalog to give a token of appreciation to our honorable judges. First, I would like to invite our first judge, Puan Yong Pena. Next, I would like to invite our second judge, Encik Mark Maluda. Thank you, judges, for spending your time and commitment in this competition. I may ask Puan Catherine Malik to stay there to hand over the consolation prizes to the participants. Starting from the consolation prizes, please give a round of applause to participant from SMK Tebobon. Next, please give a round of applause to participant from SMK Datu Peter Mojuntin. Next, please give a round of applause to participant from Maktab Sabah. Next, please give a round of applause to participant from SMJK Shantao. Next, please give a round of applause to participant from SMK Pengalat Papar. Next, please give a round of applause to participant from SMK Taman Tun Fuat. Next, please give a round of applause to participant from SMK Pertagas. Now is the moment that everybody is waiting for. I will be announcing the top 3 winners, but before that, I would like to invite Puan Pamela Esther Mosino, Timbalan Pengarah Pengurusan, to hand over the top 3 prizes. Starting from the 3rd place, please give a round of applause to SM Advent Tamparuli. In the 2nd place goes to SM Science Sabah. And the first place Reading Challenge Competition in English 2024 goes to SMK St. Joseph Papar. Thank you, Puan Catherine and Puan Pamela, for giving away the prizes to the participants. Now, I would like to invite the winner from the first to the third place and their teacher for a group photo session. Judges, join in the group photo session. Next, the rest participants and teachers, please join in the group photo session. Congratulations to all our participants. You have all done an amazing job, and we are incredibly proud of each one of you. A big thank you to our judges, organizers, and everyone who made this event possible. We would like to apologize if we have made any mistakes throughout the competition. Till we meet again, thank you and have a wonderful day.